All right, loyal listeners, welcome to another episode of Agency Intelligence, where I give you that real agent inside that real agency, giving you the real agency intelligence. But this is the executive sessions. We're live here on the floor at Accelerate, which is put on by NetVu. We're in the NetVu neighborhood, and I'm interviewing these executives. You've probably been following along, but just to recap with you, these is for us to humanize people that sit in high-level, superior in places that we think these people probably aren't like us, or there's some different. No, they were us at one time, and who you're achieving to be is to be successful. These are the people, and this is why I'm doing this, is to give them a way to help you without talking about their company and all that stuff. The actual things that make us good leaders, that create great cultures and bring us great customer experiences. It's the things like these people that we can learn from, and that's what the executive sessions is about. So here I am with Daniel. Daniel, welcome to this. I appreciate you being with us with the executive sessions. Take 30 seconds and give us that little rundown of who you are and what you do.
My name is Daniel Hom. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Symphony Risk Solutions, located out of San Francisco.
Oh man, yes. So one of the things that I didn't really say, and I want to let all the listeners know, I was given a list of about 18 or 19 people. I didn't know any of these people. I could go research them myself, but instead, what I did is I put it in chat, and I told chat exactly what I was looking for in somebody who I think could provide you loyal listeners value. And it went out and did all the research for me and came back with these 8. So Daniel and I are very unique in the fact that we've never met. Of a lot of the executive sessions that you've heard, I know the executives, we haven't. And so this is going to be interesting. And as all you loyal listeners, they know as well, Daniel, we talk about technology all the time. So right. This is a great conversation. So tell us when we say you're the Chief Technology Officer, what does that mean at your business?
Mainly handling any technological, cyber, anything that relates to that in the insurance industry for our company, looking at outside vendors, different contracts, different things like that.
Have you always been into technology your whole life?
Pretty much so. So for the last 25 years or so, been in the insurance technology workspace.
Okay. And so did you just start out as a normal technician, or did you go to school to tell me how you got where you are?
Yeah, I went to school, studied business, management information systems, and then kind of worked my way up through support and then through the executive areas.
How long have you had the position you have now?
For the last 4 years, and then I was CIO for the last 10 years before that.
So let's start there. I want to ask this question. This is just, we may go off topic, but I won't ask you anything that you wouldn't know, right? Technology, you pretty much live and sleep in.
Yes.
What's the difference between a CTO and what a CIO does?
I think the main difference is I think the CTO will handle a little bit more of the technical stuff as far as like networking devices, cyber, whereas a CIO may handle more like the databases, the information that's your client information, and the system that store that information.
Okay, but the infrastructure that's built on, you would say that's more of a CTO level thing?
It's more of a CTO thing, but I would say they're interchangeable roles in a lot of companies, and most people kind of do both things at the same time.
Right, and you usually kind of see that the CTO does both of those. You don't really hear CIO a lot until you get into bigger organizations,
correct,
right? Then you really, because they're like literally splitting the CTO role because it is a lot.
Yes, when they're like kind of handling more on the data side, and they have so much information that they want to separate out that role. Some companies, they just have one of them and they do both anyways.
Yeah. The thing that's beautiful about this, Daniel, and I love this, is that how big is the agency that you work for?
We have about 160 or so users.
Okay, 160. Okay, so this is so good, right? Because you're in the top. Your agency is in the top like 3 to 5% as far as probably size is what I'm saying. And let me back up when I say that. 70% of our industry is about 5 people or less.
Okay.
Right? Then 30% are like the larger ones. And being in 150, you guys are up there. Here's my point. it's hard for me, Daniel, to see a world in insurance where you are going to have technology that's going to be more demanding than what smaller businesses will be able to sustain. Meaning saying, I don't know how long people will be able to go on by growing a business without having some kind of CTO at a very early stage in the business because everything is so wrapped around technology. Does that make sense when I say that?
Correct.
That concerns me. And what would you think? What would you say about that?
I mean, I think even if you start out small, you're going to need someone to help you.
Right.
So usually smaller companies will outsource it and you hire a managed service company to help support you in these items. As you get larger, then you might want to bring it in-house so that you have a little bit more control, especially if you're trying to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Because it concerns me because I look at these agencies, they're 10, 15, 20 people, they're lost in technology and they sometimes think, and God love them, this is what this podcast, they think they can come to an Accelerate it is kind of like a concert,
Yes.
A conference, and they can sit in a class and be able to understand all this. And it's like, this is a lot. I mean, me, myself, Daniel, I understand technology. I had to hire a CTO for my agency so that I could grow it to the way I do. I think we need more managed service organizations then.
I think, especially in the insurance industry, you really need to work with someone that kind of knows that industry. If you just work with a regular managed service company outside of insurance, they're not going to know all the products, all the different things, experiences, all the issues that you're going to work through.
The standards.
So it's very specific. And I think the insurance technology space is like changing pretty rapidly. Considered in the past, it was not very fast forward and not very moving, quick.
We couldn't get it to move at all. And now we needed to kind of slow down a little bit.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
It is wild. Daniel.
Yes.
And when I'm saying that, I mean, you're feeling that too, right?
Correct.
Even a tech dude, you're opening the paper or your phone every once in a while going, holy cow, they came out with that,
Correct.
And tell me what your day is. I mean, your world is rocked right now.
Definitely, because I go to those InsurTech conferences and there's like hundreds of companies out there doing the exact same thing, and it's really difficult to know which ones are going to stick around, which technologies are work well, and which ones an insurance broker should like use moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough. Why? I mean, there's a lot of people that as they're going through their life and they are working in support or they're working in different things, what made you realize, or did you know from a very young age that I'm going to be the leader of the technology of this business? Or is it something you kind of formulated as you kind of started working through it?
I think like most people that go into insurance, you don't plan on going into insurance and it just kind of happens that way. You kind of just, like for myself, I just started out in IT, and then as I worked with insurance companies, got to know that industry, and then it's very different than other types of business, I feel. So it's definitely something you kind of grow into.
But at an early age, did you kind of say, did you have no intention of ever being a CTO? Or was that kind of, did you have that ambition early on?
I mean, I loved computers growing up as a kid, and I always had fun tinkering around with different things. So I did enjoy it. I didn't, as a kid, you don't think about that far in the future. But
when you were 25, did you know that you wanted to be what you are right now?
Hard to say. I would say, I mean, I really enjoyed the IT managed services, so I wanted to expand my career in that. But I think at that age, you don't know which way it's going to grow.
Right. Where was it? How old were you when you were really like, wow, I could actually lead this organization? What was it that spurred that in your head,
I think I started out at an insurance company pretty young. So I saw the need of technology back then because it was so far behind. When I started, the company barely used email, so now it's like totally different. It was all telephone calls back then. Now it's like, email, and now it's, everything else with websites and all this kind of stuff. So I saw the need early on that it was an industry that was a little bit behind, but I saw the potential of how things were going to change in the future.
What's this going to look like in 2030?
Ooh, it's, it's changing every year now.
Yeah, every month.
Yeah, with all the AI technology, how it's automating processes, how databases are integrating together. I think it's going to change quite a bit in the next couple of years as all that technology comes about and trying to make processes more efficient. I think the hard part is a lot of the people in the industry are getting into retirement, so developing that new workforce is a challenge. And I deal with some of that as I'm training new employees in insurance and in technology.
Right. That's you bring up a lot of things. You have me thinking about a lot of things, because the thing about with technology is not technology. The thing that's crazy about AI is it's something that maybe never in my lifetime have I had something that I could sit here and talk to you about how social media is going to change the marketing game, right? This was what we were talking about 10 years ago, right? It's going to never be the same. And you could kind of look through it and say, you know what, I probably need to start doing that and changing my marketing ways. But if I decided not to, I'm going to be okay. There's so many things like that come along. This is different. This is something that's going to change humanity, just not our industry. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You think about this a lot. I know you do. I don't think you can exaggerate to say that by 2030, for sure 2035, the way we understand agencies operating is going to be night and day over. It's not going to be what we see it as today. What do you think, Daniel?
I agree. Even if you're not that confident in AI, all the vendors, all the other partners that you partner with are going to start using it. So you're going to be forced to use it, even if you don't want anything to do with it. It's still going to change, and you're going to have to adapt and adjust to, using and be open to AI technology.
Yeah. I won't talk about this a lot because I've talked about it in some of the others, but I believe, so I'm writing a tactical manual for 2030 and what the agency of the future will look like. Now, when they're hearing this podcast, this tactical manual is already out, but looking at statistics, right? Like we look and we judge revenue per employee, right? That's something that we grade ourselves on, how much revenue per employee. Have you ever thought of this, Daniel? Why do we use that as a metric when the employees aren't doing the work? It's called revenue per human layer. We have our licensed people, we have our VE managed bots, we have our VEs, and we have our fully autonomous bots. It's about rechanging the metrics. The metrics of the past are still valid, but when you're trying to measure it with different workforces and your workforce isn't all human, those metrics aren't exactly the same anymore, right?
Yes.
AI utilization. The simple metric of saying, how many tasks do you have? How many of them are automated? What's that percentage? 6%? That's your AI utilization score, right? But agents, now that seems like a very easy thing to do. How many tasks? How many are automated? But until we show people what the future is going to look like, they don't know what the future is going to look like, right? And then when you see an AI utilization score, I've developed 14 metrics that I don't believe anybody's using that we have to start looking at when it comes to this real world. And I believe that those metrics come off the fact that our agencies are not going to look like our agencies look today. We're not going to manage policies. We're going to manage systems that manage the policies, right? And then there's going to our licensed people, in my opinion, and I want to hear your opinion. This is your life. Our licensed people are going to strictly be doing the things that they're good at, right? Communicating with people, having those conversations, letting them know, actually spending a little bit of time on the phone with them when they have a bad claim, because we're not such a rush to get off because I got to get a COI out, right?
Correct.
What do you think about this, Daniel?
Yeah, you want to utilize people, real life people, what they're best at: communicating, building relationships with
Yes.
your clients, getting to know them, meeting them, and not just pushing paper and entering data.
Correct. And it not only does it help our business, but it helps them. It gives them, I don't want to go work for a job where I don't have any worth, you know?
Correct.
I mean, I ask my loyal listeners all the time, how you know if you have a good culture and if you have good processes? Be honest with yourself, and when your staff, your team leaves at the end of the day, do they walk out the door and go, wow, I don't know if I got anything done today? Because that means they're not tracking. That means that they're overworked. That means that things are not organized, right? Now, I also say that I don't think that in organized high-tech office, people just walk out and go, whoop, that was easy, right? No, they don't do that. But there's kind of a difference in that. And I think if I'm a CTO, that's like one of my jobs, is to make sure that we're utilizing the technology efficiently, but like, are you trained on it? Do you understand how much it'll make your life? Is this something that you do? What's the day in the life of you trying to figure this out?
Yeah, I think, embracing that technology changes your workforce. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting to work in the insurance space. Instead of it being a boring job that you are just entering data and processing work,
Right.
you're actually, utilizing some of your other skills as far as communication, thinking, coming up with solutions to your clients' problems, instead of just typing away at a computer all day.
Everybody likes solving problems,
Yes.
Let our people do that,
Yes.
right? Like, set your people free. Daniel, last question I want to ask you has to do with partnerships, mentors, leaders, people that have meant a lot in Daniel's life, right? I want you right now to picture one in your head. Why? Why did you picture them?
I think they were helpful at the beginning, and they stayed with me through the early part of my career, and were always supportive. Just bouncing ideas off of, sometimes, insurance is sometimes competitive in the broker space, but taking that apart and being helpful and sharing thoughts and ideas and giving feedback. I think that's always a good thing to have someone you can ask ideas off of.
Yes.
And be able to, get their opinion on different things instead of just someone selling a product type of thing. So,
Right.
I think that's a helpful thing that I've, come around.
If you had to look at all your mentors and leaders, though, do you think that they kind of have a commonality amongst them that kind of you're attracted to?
I think they were leaders and being willing to take the chance, not set in their standards, like always looking to build and think about the future, not afraid to fail. You're not gonna change a way a business works if you're scared and you're not willing to make that change. It's hard. People don't like change. It's hard to do that. So, but you need someone to be willing to be the leader in that, and be able to get through and process something like that.
And is that how you lead?
Yeah, I try to. I want to push technology in the insurance space, but you got to. I still want to do it in a controlled manner. I'm not going to be reckless about it, but it makes the job more interesting. Like that's how you kind of grow. If you bring about a challenge and you want to produce something and be able to just come up with new ideas, something that will make the business better or the insurance space better.
And so you try to create an open environment where people will bring those ideas to you and flush them out?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's I like working with the team. Our team at Symphony is great, and we're always looking to push the envelope, and especially now, we're partnering with a lot of different AI companies and kind of developing our own strategies and building those products ourselves.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you have the resources that an
Correct.
agency of your size does. That's a
Correct.
fantastic. That's
Correct.
super. That's super. Daniel, I greatly appreciate your time. I think the loyal listeners greatly enjoyed you as well, man. I really do appreciate it. I do. Thank you very much. Loyal listeners, you know what I do because I do it for you. Tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Jason Cass. He's Daniel, and these were the Executive Sessions.